In this video, I'm going to be exposing a $7,000 a day Instagram ad strategy. And yes, you heard me right. It generates $7,000 a day, right? This is the ad strategy that a very, very big guru or a guy in the info space uses. And this is also the exact ad strategy that we help our clients implement into their business. And they've been getting awesome results. You can check my Instagram if you want to see the results we've been getting. But this funnel is literally it works like magic, right? So it's super good. I'll show you guys. So first, who makes $7,000 a day with this funnel? It's this guy right here, Nick, right? Nick Setting. He's known as Nick Setting in the space. And, he's a big guy. You guys might have heard of him. So he just basically helps info businesses scale, right? And he uses this for his business. He also helps his clients do the same thing. And that is what we really do with our agency, right? We help coaches, agency owners, and consultants scale their business using this exact strategy that I'm going to be showing you. And we don't really coach them or consult them. We kind of do both. We actually implement this for them, right? Completely done for you. And we also let them know and coach them on some other stuff like closing and stuff like that. So yeah, enough of that, but let's get right into it. So this is literally the exact ad strategy Nick Setting uses to make $170,000 in profit every 30 days, right? And I'm not talking about revenue. I'm talking about profit. Yes, $170,000 in profit every 30 days just using this funnel that I'm going to be showing you guys, right? And it is also the ad strategy that I help my clients use. And they literally make more money with less hours of work, right? It doesn't really require much work and they make more money. And I'll show it to you, right? So this is what we call, profile visit ads. Now, if you see Sam, he runs them a lot. He always has at least one or two running, always, right? He never stops running these ads because it's so profitable for him. He makes 170K in profit. So of course he'll be doing that. But these are, the ads. You see this one. This is an ad. This got 143,000 views. This one here, 134,000 views. These are ads, right? These are profile visit ads. And in these ads, he's not selling them anything. He's not telling them to click this link or book in a call. He's giving value, he's giving upfront value so that people would buy later. And that's what makes him the most money, and that's what actually works now. The whole way of, hey, click this link and book in a call if you want more help, check out this VSL, whatever, go to this landing page, click the link and buy it. That just doesn't work anymore because people want upfront value. They just don't want to do what they're told to do. They want something that will prove to them that you're actually worthy of their time and actually an authority in the space and could actually help them make their life better, So, this is the exact ad strategy, and I will show you literally everything from how this funnel works to, the creative framework you can use, testing these ads, and locking in on other converting mechanisms like content, because that is very, very important, because these ads paired with content works amazingly well. Only these ads, not so much, right? So we need to pair these both because that's what will give us the best results. Now, getting right into it, profile visit ads. Now, this is what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be doing ICP based videos, right? Why is that? Because we don't want to make ads that everybody and anybody will watch and relate and will be helpful to. We want to make people who are in our niche, right? Because if you're not talking to people in our market, we're not going to make money. See, the end goal of running a business and creating content around it is not to get more views. It's just to make more money, right? You guys first have to realize that more views doesn't always mean more money, right? The right video, talking to the right person will make you more money. So you have to talk directly to your market and give value to your market for you to make more money. So guys, if you do not know your exact ICP, if you do not know your market really well, this won't really work as better as it would if you actually know your ICP, you dial in on your ICP and you're talking directly to your market. So make sure you know everything about your ICP. When I say everything, literally what age they are, how they speak, what problems do they struggle the most, what their goals are, literally everything, right? Their problems in life, everything, problems in business. You got to know all these stuff, right? So when you know all that, you can make a ICP based video directly talking to them, so the people in your niche actually relate, right? And once you do that, you even get more qualified leads, right? Because getting a lot of leads isn't a problem. You have to get qualified leads, right? You can get 1,000 leads and they all could be from a third world country that won't really do much for your business, but you can get 15 leads and they could be your exact ICP. Then you would make a lot of money from that, right? So you guys understand what I'm talking about, right? So we run an ICP based video as an ad. I'll go over the ad framework, really everything in just a second, but just an overview of the funnel. We run an ICP based video, and from this we'll get followers and engagements and also inbound DMs, right? How do we do this? Because we leverage something called lead magnets, right? Lead magnets. These could be, free documents, free videos, free training videos, whatever, right? We leverage these lead magnets so people can actually go ahead and comment, because we're not really pitching them at the end of the video. Click this link, book in a call. No, we're pitching them upfront value. We'll say something like, go ahead and comment this word and I'll DM you this document, and I'll send you this free training video containing XYZ. Or go ahead and follow me and I'll send you this free training video containing XYZ, right? So people won't really turn down free upfront value. So they would look into it, right? So you'll get a lot of leads from it. But the real important thing is that you actually have to make sure that you make a video targeted to ICP. Because if you don't, you'll get a lot of leads, but you get a lot of unqualified leads, right? So that's the problem, and we do not want that. So ICP-based video, giving out free lead magnet so we can get inbound DMs and followers and engagement. Now, the thing with this is people don't just see a 30-second ad and buy from you, right? A very, very small percent of people do, but those are really desperate people. And I'm telling you, do not want to work with people who are desperate, because they always expect perfection, and perfection is something that we can never achieve, right? So we do not want that. So the thing is, you also lock in on organic content, right? So you also create organic content a lot on Reels, on YouTube, whatever. And those content will do the conversion, because when people see an ad, they go ahead and comment for the lead magnet. Then they click on your profile and they see who you are, they see what you do. And if you have good content on YouTube, on Instagram, in the form of Reels and all, then those Reels will nurture them, right? So your organic content does the conversion for you and does the nurturing for you, right? Which is amazing. And then our setter will go ahead and have a conversation in the DMs with all the people who showed interest, who've commented, who followed, all that stuff. So we have a conversation in the DMs where we just qualify and find problems and goals that the prospect has, right? You first have to qualify, because we actually want to know if they actually are ICP. Then we find out, the problems, what they're struggling with in business, and then, what their goals are. And then we just position our service as a solution to the problem and offer a free call where we give upfront value. So at that point, you'll have a call booked. And then if it all goes well, if they're qualified, you'll close them. Now, closing is very, very important, because we've really flipped out everything, right? And this part here does all the selling for you, because we have organic content in place. We're giving out free lead magnets. So closing is really easy. You don't really have to do much convincing and much explaining to close them, right? Because they already know everything you do. They're already nurtured, right? Your organic content and your lead magnets have already did the conversion for you. So you've given up so much upfront value. You don't really have to do much convincing on the call. So every call you book, you will really, really close them. Our clients have around a 60% close rate, which is absolutely mind-blowing. A 60%, a 50 to 60%. So this stuff actually works. And next, let's get into the creative framework. So moving on to the creative framework. So this is what you do. This is what you run as an ad, right? This is the video that you run as an ad. So the first thing is the hook, right? That is the most important, because People are scrolling through Instagram. They're seeing so many, reels. Their dopamine receptors are fried. So you need a good hook if you actually want to make people stay and watch what you're saying. If you have a shitty hook or you don't even have a hook at all, not a lot of people are going to watch your video. So you need a clear hook that calls out your ICP too, right? So need a good hook that will, kind of spark curiosity in them. That's really the main point of hook, because if they're curious, they're going to watch the video. So you need a good hook. And next is, once you have that hook, once you've said your hook, next you give value to ICP, value to your market. How you do that? You show social proof. You show proof of concept that whatever you're selling, whatever your product is, actually works. And then you give real value to market. No fluff, none of that bullshit. Just real upfront value to market, directly to market. And what you really want, what your main goal with your ad is you want to change beliefs, right? That is, if you can change somebody's belief, you can sell them anything you want to, right? Because if you can just tell somebody and change the beliefs to go from thinking that cold DMs is the best way to make money. If you can change somebody's belief to go from that to thinking content is the best way to make money, you can sell that guy, a content package, content coaching, whatever it is. You can sell that guy for quite a lot of money, because you completely changed their mind, right? If you can change somebody's mind and change their beliefs, they will see you as a figure of authority and they'll fully trust you, right? So you have to give a lot of value, and whatever you're selling has to be, you should hit it from a unique angle, and that will help you change beliefs. And of course, social proof, whatever you're selling actually works. You show testimonials, results, all that stuff. And then next step is to hit pain points. Now for this, you also need to know your ICP. You need to know your ICP for everything, basically. That's what I'm saying. So you have to hit pain points. You have to know, what are the big major problems that your market is struggling with, whatever it is. You have to hit those pain points and just remind them of the problem they're having right now, and they have to solve it, right? And then what you do is you position your service, your product, as a solution to their pain points, right? Simple. And then you hit them with a CTA, and this CTA is for a lead magnet, right? Simple framework. You're giving out value. You're reminding them of the problems they have. You position yourself as the solution to their problem, and then you offer a free lead magnet. This could be a free document, free training video, just going over what you're selling, giving them value in that stuff too, right? We're giving out a lot of value, right? We're giving, and then asking, right? Because that's what works now. Because everybody is just asking, that people just won't do that anymore, So the market is changing, so you have to change whatever you're doing too. And now the framework is pretty simple, guys. Next, let's get on to the ad testing. So for testing, this is really, really important. If you mess this up, you won't know what your ad potential really is. So what you do is, first, you create 3 to 5 different creatives with different hooks, right? So the starting of the video, different hooks. You create, around 3 to 5 different hooks. And if you want, the body just can be the same. So after the hook, every step, like giving value, hitting pain point, solution, and then CTA, every step of that can be the same body. But the hook, you just change that, right? And you have 3 or 5 hooks, and you just attach the body to each of the hook, and now you have 3 to 5 different creatives. Or if you want, you can create a whole different body if that's something you want. But yeah, this is something you can do, and it works pretty well, right? Just create different hooks and then attach the body to that. So now you have different ads that you can run and see which hooks work the best. And then what you do next is you split test the creatives for a week and see which one performs the best, right? You can do this for a week, you can do this for 2 weeks. So it's just based on your preference, right? Once you've created these creatives and you're running them all, so you run them every single one of the ad, right? So the 3 to 5 ads I recommend, you run them for a week, see which one performs the best. You can just select one that performs the best, or you can select around 2 to 3 that performs the best, and then just select the best performing ones out of that, and then run those only. You can just select one out of that if one outperforms everything, or if two are doing pretty equally well but the rest are all doing completely shit, then you can just run those two and just put all your budget, all your money, all your ad spend into those only, because we know which works the best. So why not just spend everything on that, right? You'll get way better results, right? So that is really for ad testing. That's all you do. And then moving on is organic content optimization, which is very, very, very important. If you don't dial in and do this properly, you won't really get the best results out of this funnel, right? For organic content, I'll really go over what you can really do, the entire schedule. So for Instagram, you should post at least one reel a day. You can do one reel a day, or if you want, you can do one reel every 2 days, but one reel a day is something that I recommend when you're just starting out, because you need to give value to the market, right? So one reel a day, what you can do is you can do 2 top of funnel videos, 2 middle of funnel, 2 bottom of funnel per week. So those are six videos per week. You can take Sunday off if you want, but yeah, this is my schedule, the schedule my clients use. This is what we do. So for top of funnel videos, it's just trending videos that are going viral, memes, whatever that is in your niche, in your industry. You just use that and just post that. The main goal is to just get a lot of eyeballs in, because that could help in reaching our ICP. But just 2 top of funnel videos just to make sure some views are coming in. And then next is 2 middle of funnel, which is basically value to ICP. You're giving out value, you're showing them what they can do, just providing value to the market, right? Simple. So those are 2 middle of funnel videos. And then 2 bottom of funnel is just social proof. This could be testimonials, client results, all that stuff. And these 2 right here, the top of funnel and social proof, this is where you do the selling, right? This is where you actually sell your product. On those top of funnel videos, you're not really selling them anything. These 2, and especially the bottom of funnel, this is where you actually sell whatever you have, right? Because these are the people who are really nurtured. So this is where you actually sell whatever you have, whatever your product is, right? You tell them to book in a call, add a CTA to maybe even a lead magnet, tell them to book in a call, check out a landing page, whatever, right? So that is for Instagram, pretty simple. And I'm telling you guys, you got to know who your market is. You got to know who you're actually selling to, because if you don't, it won't work the best for you. Is what I'm trying to say. So next is YouTube. So for YouTube, you can do 2 to 3 videos a week. You don't really need to post every day. 2 to 3 videos a week works amazingly well. And what you can do is you can do 2 value-based videos. So these are literally videos talking directly to your market, exactly like this one I'm doing right here. I'm giving you guys all this value that I hope you guys will use, because if you use, you will actually make money. I'm giving all this for absolutely free. I'm not asking you for a dime, right? So I'm just talking directly to my market and giving value, right? And what this does is this will make you authority figure in your niche. When people in your market watch this, they'll know, all right, this guy actually knows what he's talking about. Let me see what he's about, right? So on YouTube, it's long form, so it's super easy to nurture people in just 2 or 3 videos. So just give out a lot of value on YouTube. And every once in a while you can maybe do one broad video to attract eyeballs, talking about best ways to make money, blah blah blah, right? Just to attract more eyeballs, to just get some views rolling in. But most of the time you should focus on just talking directly to your market, and that is really, really important, right? And that is literally the whole freaking funnel, guys. I just showed you guys everything. If you guys have any doubts, you can go ahead and DM me on my Instagram. And if you guys want me to implement this exact funnel into your business, go ahead and book in a call using the link in the description. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.